All right, we're hunting with the happen. This was my first dig of the day, and I wanted to do a couple tests. So I'll let you know. I did plug in the headphone cord. This was a scratchy signal. I'm running in all-terrain. I got my 5-tone regional, and I'm running in recovery 6. Because I know that a lot of these places, I've hunted these places so many times, and I've just gone to the fact that all the easy stuff typically is going to be gone, and I need to find something that's going to give me a little bit tighter recovery, shorter recovery space. So anyways, this was coming in scratchy, but it was repeatable, barely, in all directions. It seemed to be laying flat in the bottom of the hole, and it was at the bottom of about 7 inches. So on my depth bar, see, here's one of those weird things. My depth bar was showing 3 bars. I had Hap go over it with him. He's an all-terrain. I can't remember. I don't know what his recovery is. He might adjust his, but he went over it and he thought it was going to be a nail junk because it was scratchy. It was very scratchy, very reminiscent of all the nails I keep digging that are repeatable in both directions. Scratchy, but repeatable. So you dig those, right? And that's where this thing has becoming a problem, because if you have a nail in there on the side, you should get a signal in one direction, and then it should null out the other way if the Ferris limits are working correctly and the discrimination is working correctly. The discrimination, I tested that also, just so you know. This was scratchy. It was painting at the top of my screen, and it was painting down here on the corner. So it looked like I had 2 targets, Ferris, non-Ferris, Ferris. It's typical, reminiscent of every single nail target I've been getting. So what I did is I discriminated, went into discrimination, not Ferris limits, but I went into discrimination, and I notched out that whole section in the middle to see if the Ferris limits is the problem. And to tell you the truth, I lost some of my signal, which is really, really, really weird. It actually, if I had blocked out that whole middle section and was walking over this, I probably would have passed by this because it wasn't as repeatable. I got it in one direction, the other direction sort of not blocked out. It sort of disappeared. I know some of you are going to say that it's the Ferris limits. If your Ferris limits are too high, then you could lose targets. But I wasn't messing with the Ferris limits. I was actually messing with the discrimination. I wanted to see why on nails, if this was a nail, I was wondering why is it bleeding through. So when I put the discrimination on, it should have, in theory, cleared this signal up, because it should have blocked this out completely and showed me this target over here, but it didn't. It actually made it worse. So I have to think about this. I'm not sure what to think about. I'm trying to figure out which is the problem. If the Ferris limits is the problem, if the discrimination is the problem, because it should have cleared up better with the discrimination in the middle, in theory, but it didn't. It got worse. So anyways, dug the plug. Before I showed him the coin, I asked him if he thinks this is going to be a good target or a bad target, and he said bad. And I said, no, it's a weedy. And so it's just, I think it's the recovery. I need to go back over this to see, after I put the plug in, to see if there's any iron here. It is very trashy in this little ballpark field. And so I think in this ballpark field, I've only managed to pull out maybe 1 or 2 silvers. I think maybe he might have pulled one out of here too before. So I'm gonna keep going. First dig, that's good. I hope it's not a curse. And but just, yeah, doing some tests with that. So you guys do your own test. I hope I'm trying to figure out what is the problem. Why are we digging up so many nails? Why is so much iron falsing? Why is the Ferris limits not blocking out the noise? Discrimination, what is the deal with that? Again, I'm not 100% sure. I know that somebody told me that the coil doesn't have any, there's nothing in the coil. They're just there for support. There's nothing in these. That's what I was told. But the problem I'm having is when I went over it with the coin, right? See, here I'm getting kind of one tone, but when I was in the 5-tone regional, it was kind of weird. I was getting a different tone between here, here, and here, and it sounded like I was getting that high-low tone between the two. So not sure what's going on with that, but right now I got a good solid tone over the coil. So anyways, I'm gonna keep going, and yeah, I would, say I would have videotaped this one too, but it's just reminiscent of every single nail I've dug and my targets that a lot of my videos. Just scratchy, sounds like garbage, and then sometimes I get a coin, sometimes I get a nail. More of the time I get a nail, 7 out of 10 times, and sometimes I get a coin. It's just frustrating. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm glad, happy. All right, just so you know, here's I just threw the plug back over, and just wanted you to hear what it sounds like over the top of where it was. You can hear it, right? I have my ferrous volume down. So you can hear that there is the grunt in there. It's painting up here, like if this was a screen, it's painting actually right up here on my screen. Not so much in the middle, but off the side. It's got the red line, 35, 22, 35. Still painting up, right up in here in the top. Not so much middle, left. So keep that in mind, guys. Those scratchy signals. That's painting in two spots. It's a crapshoot. It is really. Yeah. It's picking up too much. I am running I was running in this. I think I was running actually in 27. See that? Interesting. Well, I was running in 27 sensitivity too here. So yeah, maybe I'll turn it down. Might get a little bit better. 26. Very scratchy. It's painting along the line like this, and up here it's trying to connect those lines. I can go in one direction for a little bit, it'll just stay in this middle line, but slightly turn a little bit, it actually starts to go up. So it's a diggable iffy for me, so I'm gonna dig that. The pinpoint's coming in a little strong, so I don't like that, which signifies something shallow or big. Could be big iron. Anyways, I'll dig it and let you know what it is when I get it done. All right. Well, one of the things I noticed was it pinpointed. Remember I said it pinpointed too loud, so I don't like that because it sounds like it might be a little shallow, something big. Well, the reason why it was pinpointing shallow is that it's about 3-4 inches down, by 4 inches down, strictly on edge. You can see the coin straight up and down on the sidewall. Before I touched it, it was pretty much like that. Straight up and down, right on the edge of my coil. And I got another greeny weedy. So numbers were high for this greeny. I saw numbers in the high 70s and 90s or 80s. So anyways, green on one side, of course, and then it doesn't look very green on this side. So anyways, yeah, another greenie. So picking those out, it was repeatable. And like I said, I was painting a bigger bar across the middle. Like I said, I was bouncing from those high numbers into those low numbers, but also when I turned, it wanted to paint this little shape like that. So it was a little target up in the middle, the space in the middle, and then this one here connecting the dots. It wants to paint that line. All right, well, see if I can get a date off this. Can't tell. Looks like 50 something. Can't tell. Yeah, got this. This was a scratchy coming up mid-70s. Thought it was gonna be a weedy. And then out of the ground, this thing sounds great, but in the ground, scratchy. So it's the hollow middle button. Hey, I just got a noise in my headphones. I went doodle 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 doodle. What the heck does that mean? Junk bling. Pin, basketball pin. All right, again, guys, if you guys know what the alarm is, I thought it was my batteries going dead in my headphones, so I plugged in the cord to my headphones, and I still got the alarm. So I don't know what the alarm is. And I also unplugged my battery, because maybe I was thinking it was giving me like a warning that there was no battery power coming, so I unplugged that. Still getting this doodle-doodle-doodle. I gotta look it up in my manual, but strange. My battery on here looks good, so I'm still running on, you know, you can't really see it. Anyways, I have a target here that's in one direction. This is not very good. Signal was not very good, not very strong. In one direction I was getting a solid, it was staying in the 90s, like 91. And when I turned, it didn't drop that much, but it bounced in the 70s and the 80s. But it was scratchy, iffy, and this is one of those ones that I would say is like iron, because it wasn't a super good signal. But I'm videotaping it anyways, because I haven't been videotaping some of these live ones because they are becoming pretty annoying when it's, you know, nails. But we're finding it that I'm having Hap listen to them too, and they're really scratchy and they're really iffy, and some of those are turning out to be the wheat pennies. Surprise, surprise. Now this one's on. This one's on edge. See, not good. Sidewall. I mean, not edge. Sidewall. So more than likely this is crap, but it was weird. I think if this was a good target, I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say, if this was a good target, it would have come in a little bit more solid, unless it is a coin on edge. Well, no, it's way off to the side, see? And the pinpointing, I am pinpointing. So what I'm doing is I'm doing exactly like I used to do. If I see a target, I pinpoint it, find the center, and I turn with my pinpoint on and go out. And then once I get the center there, go back, get the center, release it, and see if I still have that signal. And usually on the E-trac, the E-trac was fantastic. The E-trac would typically clean that up. If you go over it after you've done the pinpoint and you go over it and you didn't hear the signal, I'd move on. This one, different story. There's the nail right there. This one's a whole different story, because this one, you pinpoint, and even when you pinpoint according to the directions, it's supposed to clean up the signal. It still doesn't clean up the signal. So it's not like I'm not getting any better target ID when I pinpoint. It's still telling me that it's there right in the middle, and I'm still showing the decent numbers. And if this was working correctly, it should have probably changed all that, especially today's technology. I mean, today's technology going backwards. Remember that thing I said about those buttons? Did not like those buttons protruding. Anyways, I had this on the charger all night long, and I think that's why I'm getting the beep beep beep. But what happened was a little while ago, when I had this corded in and I still got the beep beep beep, I think it died, because when I went to try to turn these off, I didn't get no turn off at all. So I'm trying to test something right now, and I know it works, but I'm going to try and charge my headphones with my battery brick, right, as I'm using them corded. Will it work? I know I can get tone out of them because I just turned it on, but will it charge? As long as I don't turn it on, will it charge just as I go? We'll see. Maybe in an hour or two. I know these take a while to charge, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to test that. So maybe an hour or so, I'll unplug this and see how long the battery life I get off of that. So I'm basically got a battery brick in my pocket while I'm plugged into the back of the house. Okay, update. I got noise, but it's really scratchy. Actually, I just was testing it. Scratchy and coin. You can throw a coin over. It's really scratchy, and it diminishes the depth by a complete ton. So I'm gonna have to go corded. And just another FYI for you, the cord tone is different than the Bluetooth phone. I actually, to be honest with you, I like the Bluetooth tone better than I do the cord. The cord for me, just come on guys, man, this sounds a little too hollow. with the cord. My opinion, just my opinion. Too hollow, too bassy, and it's not enough of the best thing is, guys, mind lab. Go look at those costs and get the readings off of those, because I have been able to, I found earbuds with the exact same reading, open air earbuds that gave me the exact same tones as those costs, but those earbuds no longer are, they don't make those anymore from Philips. But you guys from Mind Lab need to just work on this. To me, honestly, I know some of you guys out there really like the Grey Ghost. To me, Grey Ghost sounds too tinny, too hollow. And with this on, they sound too tinny, too hollow, a little too bassy. So, and I'm looking for that high tone, that sweet high tone. And this is going to decrease a little bit. But I have no choice today because my battery in my headphones died even while they were on the charger all night long. And I think it has to do with those buttons. Those buttons, I think it was pushed. I don't know what the deal is, but it should have turned itself off. But it's just like it charged for nothing and drained for nothing. I don't know what's going on. All right. What happened, I moved on to another school. I've been to the school many times because I used to live pretty close to here. So I drive up here to this school. Never had a lot of luck in the middle of that field. Some wheats, a few silvers over by the basketball courts, a couple silvers up front. And the park over here is not an old park. Used to have a couple houses. Used to have an old house over here. I picked up 2 Indian heads near that old house. We used to be there. And a couple silvers, I think, way off on the other side. But not too much in the middle of that ball field. Too new. But I told him, I said, he's parked right here. And I told him, I said, I don't think I've ever did this little section. So he started off right here and went that way. And I'm walking this way to go do it again because I want to hit that little area on the other side. And then right by his truck. If he had turned and gone my direction, he might have gotten this guy. I know, get excited about a penny. But you know what? I've been to this school many times. I picked, like I said, a quarter and a merc up on the front part of the school. For some reason, I don't think I rounded the corner. I just don't believe I hit this section. Anyways, got a weedy. The school's pretty old. Let's see what we got here. Good old patina on it. I got, so you're going to get this video a little late. I'm almost caught up with all my videos. So I'm really going to try to get videos, keep up to date on my videos. I might lag a little bit on my videos. So, this video today is, what is today? Today is like tomorrow is Easter. So today's the 8th. So I think today's April 8th. So just to give you an idea, I think I have 2 videos. I have 1 video in the process. I'm processing 1 video now. I have 1 more video after that to make, and then this one. So I'm pretty close. And then I'll probably throw an oddball video in between there. Let's put a little spit on that. See if I can get that clean, but oh well. See if I can get a date on that guy. All right, I'm gonna start this video just in case it's something good, because it's actually getting, my pinpointer is giving me something in the middle, not necessarily on the sidewall. So I hope it stays in the middle, doesn't move from that spot, and hoping if I can find out what this is. Is that a piece of foil? Yeah, I see something there shiny. Yep, that's a piece of foil. So that'll bring my signal down. Now I'm starting to get into the sidewall. Dang it. This is interesting because I did not have a good tone. I did not have a good tone. Anyways, let me dig this out and see if it comes out to be anything better than that piece of foil. Well, I got down to about 9 inches in that bottom, so 8 to 9 inches. And I dropped out that. I don't know what that is yet. But so this target was scratchy. Everything seems to be scratchy. 92, 91, right? And then I turned this way, and it was sticking at about 47, which, that foil's in there too. So it was one of those targets where it wasn't bouncing a lot. It was sticking with that 90 something and sticking with that 47. And the painting on the screen showed this line. And then when I turned, it was way up here. I was getting a line way up here. So I'm not sure what this is. It's just a piece of garbage, but it's, yeah, no, that's interesting. You can see it's got like little tips on it on the corners here. Oh, look at that. Ooh, a star. Yeah, what is this, guys? Tell me what it is. Little patina indentation there. Like I said, down about 9-10 inches. Of course, this would blare out. It wasn't blaring. It was. See, I run. So some of you might say they don't like my audio, but I run enhanced audio, run the medium, and not the simple. I would rather run audio enhanced rich, but the volume's too low. I do like the tone. So in MindLab, if you guys could just make the rich a little bit louder, but keep the subtleness of that tone. Just it's a much better tone. It's all about the tone. But hey, I'm gonna have to clean this up, and I'll get back to you in a second. I've lost my brush. I used to have a little brush. I gotta get me another toothbrush. All right, give me a sec. All right, well, I did a quick search on this. This is pretty cool. This is like a 1938-ish. It's a Little Orphan Annie radio orphan decoder badge, and on this side you'd be able to I'm sure that there's numbers or letters around here, and you'd be able to spin this, and there's a little pointer right here, and you'd probably have a decoder. That is pretty cool. It's got some keys right there on the little top part, little skeleton keys, and yeah. So that's pretty neat. 1938-ish. Of course, near the trashiest part of the school, Joseph Lane, 1927, I get a little token. These are modern tokens though. No cash value. Cinemark. I've gotten quite a few of those in the past. So anyways, it's kind of weird. Getting a great tone this way. This way sucked. But there's a lot of foil in the ground here. This is, like I said, this is the front doors. It's really trashy. Good tone. So dug it. 4 inches down. All right. Well, I've had a few people tell me on my YouTube comments that anything on the Manticore like 97, 98, 99 is all iron. And hesitant. I actually did block out, I think 99, 98 on the far side. But here is like a 6-inch quarter, regular clad, and this was a solid 97 for this quarter. All right, I got another iffy wheat cent. So weird, because this was only like 3 inches down. Scratchy, sounded very deep. This bugs me. Just 3 bars on the machine, but only about 3 inches down, scratchy. So it might have been on the edge, which I don't know because I saw it was kind of diagonal, so it might have been slightly on edge. But weird, yeah, weird. But it was one of those signals where it was pretty repeatable, and I was pretty comfortable with it. It's got a little ding in it, but I'll take it. Moving on, going from the school, moving on to the park behind me. Gonna go to where an old house was on the park and see if I can pick up anything around where that was. That's kind of over where I found my Indian heads in that park, which park really isn't that old. This little dip here, and I had a nice tone. Now I got a repeatable, really nice, like 88, 91, right? Now this is interesting. When I pinpoint it, I look down at my screen and it says it's solid, sticking at 98 with the pinpoint on, and has a red bar. I turn, pinpoint, 98, red bar. So what does that tell you? I'm down like I said, 8-9 inches. Well, I'm at 7 inches, but the target is showing me that it's in the middle. Not in the middle, but it's not in the sidewall. It's right here. So it should be coming out in the next inch or two. So it's about 9 inches down. So this could be a clad quarter, because this park was developed in and around 63. So it's possible that there are some silver coins out here. I mean, I have pulled wheat pennies, and I've pulled some Indian heads, which is fluky, but then a couple silvers. But I've been all over this park, and just small amounts of wheat pennies. So this could be a clad quarter at 8 inches. So I'm just curious what that 98 and the red bar. I was thinking, is that telling me that there's iron down here, a big piece of iron? That it was pinpointed? Because usually when I pinpoint, I usually don't, it doesn't do like what it says in the book, that it's supposed to clean up the signal. And normally when I pinpoint, I wanted to lock in on like a number. Usually when I pinpoint, it jumps all over the place and doesn't really settle in much on nothing. But this time, it stopped on 98 and stayed there. So my target's going deeper. So I'm wondering if this could be a pipe. It's very possible that this is a pipe way down here. So I'm really, really curious. Yeah, see how far down I'm going? Oh, look right there. So it wasn't pipe, it was a wine cap. And that was coming in really sweet. But it was also pinpointing and locking in 98, 98 and iron showing. That's kind of interesting. Something I have to keep an eye on. Because I really wanted the pinpoint to be to clean up my signals, and it seems to be failing in that aspect. So, all right, well, sorry to waste your time in that. I just thought that was interesting. All right, well, I don't know what I have because it's in the plug, but I'm sure it's all right there. It's really just a dime or penny. It was kind of interesting because this is where my Easter egg was, right? The Easter egg cluster was right in here. And I saw that shininess in there, and that is actually foil. So foil, and then underneath the foil was my dime. That was pretty good. It's pretty good. It came right through. It was sitting right underneath it. So pretty good. Scratchy though. Scratchy. High tone. High 70s. Yeah. Take it. All right. I'm just throwing this out there. Not that it's like any big, discovery. But hey, if you have to use your cord, like I'm having to use my cord because the battery died in my headphones, and you don't want it dangling around in your way, it's kind of, this got this little, as long as you have a little bit of room down here, just wrap it down there underneath and loop it over the top. And you put your arm in there, and it works great. Out of your way, and it's tucked up on that little thing. Just wanted to throw that out there, I'm just saying. Annoying having that stupid cord dangling around your face, down, below you where you're walking. Well, excuse me. I wanted you to hear. I've disturbed it. I dug it already over. I dug the plug already. So this is recovery. Boy, what, 6? Yeah, recovery 6. I'm going to turn the sensitivity down to 25. It sounded worse before I dug the plug. You can obviously hear a lot of the garbage in there. But that high tone. 95, 96, 97. 97, 96. Showing 3 bars. Turn this way. Garbage, kinda. The high tone's in there one direction. Well, 92, 91. Anyways, I was kind of surprised what this was, and I gotta see if I can get my headphones back in. Yeah, this is the only thing about these headphones, because they have to be waterproof, so you have to screw that. And I don't even know if I've got the. Well, actually, those shouldn't be waterproof. These aren't waterproof headphones. It's just that it's funny that they don't have a straight plug-in, just a straight plug-in there. But I guess there's not enough room, so they screw it in. But I was really surprised. I haven't dug one of these in a long time. It's not silver, but I think I've only ever dug like maybe 5 of these. Oh, it fell out of my plug. It's an Ike dollar. $72. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I was going through listening to high tones, so it's kind of nice that high tone's in there. It's kind of funny on air test. On a dollar coin, I lose it. Like right there. That's only about 9 inches, 8 inches. So recovery 6. I hunted all day today in recovery 6 most of the day, except for maybe 10 minutes. I went to 5, and then I went back to 6. I'm looking for any high tones hiding in here. So it sounded worse. I tell you, honestly, it sounded worse before I dug the plug over and saw the rim of this setting right there, with a little bit of dirt over the top of that. Like this dirt was setting over the top of it, and I saw a little bit like that, and I go, oh, I know what that is. And I flipped it over and tried to get the tone to see if you could hear the garbage, and it actually sounded better. So unfortunately, I disturbed it. It's how it is. But you can see they got the netting here, so I was bummed that it was in the plug versus below the netting. Anyways, my day's up, and I am going to finish this little strip right here, and that's all I got left to do today. Cool. On to the next video. All right, well, I thought I was done. I still had this little strip here to do, and got a target. It's 93, 96, 95, 52, 94, showing 4 bars. Turn. 97, 96, 93, 4 bars. Painting right over here. What do you think? Do you think it's a coin, or do you think it's iron? It's not painting anywhere. I'm going to pinpoint it. It stays right there. '96, 97, 95, 90. I get a lot of these. I think they're just pennies, honestly. It's just, they give me that super good high tone, and you know, you think it's gonna be a, you know, quarter or a dime, and then it just ends up being a stinking Lincoln. But I always have my hopes crossed. This would be the, what do they call that? What's the word I'm looking for? The creme, not the creme brulee, the creme du tas, or the pinnacle, the cherry on the top of the sundae, end of my day, if this were a silver coin. I mean, how lucky can I get if this were a silver coin? But I will not hold my breath until I see it. Show me the color. Please be further down and not in the plug. Oh, so I'm off to the side. It's not good. So you were hearing that. Well, you weren't hearing it. I was telling you what I was hearing. What I was hearing was good numbers. What I was hearing was not much scratchiness. What I was hearing was dig it, because it's a good target. Anyways, let me it's showing, I'm getting a target. Where was that at? Lost it. What the heck? Anyways. Oh, is it in the plug? I'm gonna run my coil over the hole and the plug. Now it turns into garbage. So this is where we get all grumpy about the iron. Yep. This is where we get all grumpy about the iron falsing issue. Okay, let me put this camera down and keep digging. Let it go. Let it go. Things we do for love. Well, that is one big piece of lead or pewter. It's heavy. Anyways, that ends my day. The rain is coming. I still have actually a couple more feet. So let me put all this back together. That was, yeah, that was way down there. That was 7, 12, 13, 14, I don't know, 14, 15 feet down, or 15 inches down. And it was giving me that nice high tone. Until I disturbed the plug, then it switched to only one way, sounding good. So it's a good thing it's the end of my day because that thing's going to be heavy in my bag. Well, there it is. The battery is dead. And time-wise, I'll tell you that in a second after I pull everything out of my bag and drop it there for my closing. But the battery is dead, the battery brick is dead, and I kind of lost track of my hours. But I know I say it in my videos, so I'll say how long I hunted today, and maybe if I remember, I'll go back and calculate that out. But nice thing is I haven't charged my, I've been on like 1, 2, 3 or 4, about 4 hunts, I think 4 or 5 now, and I haven't had to charge my anything up. So all right, give me a second, I'll set all my garbage out. All right, so these are the I think these would be the finds of the last 2 hunts. So I think this would be hunt 6 and 5, because in the previous video you see that guy, my first over. So anyways, I wanted to separate out some of my junk. I've got these high conductive junk items, you know, the wine caps, some what do you call this, some brass, little flat pieces of tin, metal, copper, pieces of I don't know if that's gonna be brass or not, but these all came up nice and high. This is a little, wait, that's a piece of iron, little car, and this tin flashing, and these little pieces came up kind of sporadically, junk. But anyways, and a button, and this is all my iron, which isn't too bad. I thought I dug quite a bit of iron today on some iffy targets, but I think it's getting a little better. I mean, there's things like this that are going to give you that that falsing. I had a couple of these today. Right here's another one. And big irons, of course, going to give you weird signals, especially if they're curved too. But anyways, that's the iron. So the iron to coin ratio, you know, There you go. I hunted today, like in recovery 6. I hunted the last hunt probably in 5, mostly 5. And the find of the day was, of course, this 1938. It says 1938 at the top, and it's got two keys, and it's got an ROA, but it's a little Orphan Annie decoder badge. So it's got something else right at the bottom there. I can't quite read it. Almost looks like another date. But anyways, I don't have my brush, so I can't clean it off anymore than that. And then, so in the last 2 hunts, I got a button today, hollow button. And so that's what, 7 wheats and a silver, and a clad, very rare for me, that is, and not anybody else. And then this stupid thing, what a joke. Oh my gosh, that is heavy. So not too bad. I mean, I like this ratio. Is not, it's getting better. I have a little bit more dime to penny ratio. And there are times with the E-trac that I would go hunting, I would have more Wheaties than I probably would pennies. And that's, you know, the E-trac, the learning curve. So I am learning. Oh shoot, I said I was going to get the time. Hang on one sec. All right, so it's the end of the day. It's 5:28. I started hunting, detecting this morning at about 9:30. So tag on, so it's at 6, 7, 8 hour, no, 6, yeah, 9 to 3, yeah, 8 hour detecting day. So the battery is doing wonders. I really enjoy having this extra time that I don't have to think about, you know, plugging that in. So now I'm going to plug both of these guys in, get them charged, and plug those dang things in, get that charged again. I plugged it, charged it overnight. So anyways, that's the end of, I think this, like I said, again, I think this is going to be the end of 6 and the end of 6, but the combined finds of junk and stuff of the last 2 hunts. All right, well, this is it. This is the end for Portland, Oregon. This is Saturday before Easter, and you're gonna probably get this video in about a week and a half, and by that time I should be somewhere in California, and I'm hoping to have gone out and done some metal detecting while I'm down there. So be on the lookout for our adventures. I'm hoping to do some detecting in and around Stockton. I'm hoping to maybe do some, we'll see, maybe some gold panning and detecting up in the Mariposa Mountains. And after that, we're going to there'll be a break for a little bit. And then I'm in Vegas for a while. And the problem with Vegas is, 1, it's hot. 2, it's hot and dry. Ground is hard as a rock, I suppose. I mean, literally, I bet you the ground is hard as concrete. And 3, there really isn't anything much old left in Vegas to detect. I have a few places marked, but they're really not all that like this school here. I can't remember what site on the front side of the school, 1930, 1927, 1937, something like that. I don't think they have anything like that. And if they did, I think it's marked as a historic site, which is weird. Some of the schools in Vegas, they actually call them historical. And I don't even think they were built until like 1955. It's kind of strange. I don't get it. But so I'll be in Vegas. I'm hoping to do some detecting in Vegas. And I'm hoping that we'll go out of Vegas a little bit and maybe hit a couple ghost towns or abandoned buildings. I have some marked on my map. I just have to be careful about what is okay to detect and what isn't okay to detect. So anyways, and then San Antonio, and various places in between, but I probably won't be detecting in there. So I'm working on getting the permit for San Antonio, and then I'll be able to detect there freely, depending on the digging issue. I hate that in the rules. Sometimes they say, no digging tools allowed. But yet, here's the parks you can detect at. And I'm assuming that when they say no digging allowed, they basically want you to find things on the surface, like a pencil. I don't get it. I just don't get it. What's the point of even having the rules? What's the point of going through and giving you a list of 70 parks to choose from and telling you that you can only choose 20 of those parks that'll be covered in your permit, and then restrict you to no digging tools? And I'm assuming that they're probably going to say, oh, you can use an ice pick. Yeah, you can use an ice pick. Well, yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that with an ice pick. I maybe have gotten that with an ice pick, but pretty much everything else in here I would never have gotten with an ice pick. I mean, I'd be I'd be what would we doing? Digging in like this, digging in like this, and digging in like this, and you never know if you're even close. Anyways, I know I'm complaining, rambling, and this has gone on long enough. So I just wanted to say, keep uh, keep hold of my channel, because there might be a little lull in spots. I'm traveling and I'm doing like one night stops. I don't really have time. I'm not gonna have too much time to detect in those places. And then I will be in certain areas that I will be able to detect. So keep an eye on it. We're heading east, and I hope to get some more detecting done in North Carolina. And then we're heading north, and I hope to get some more detecting done in Pennsylvania, where I found my 2 oldest coins. So, and then it's coming back home in the fall sometime, and I haven't figured out where we're going to go from there. But stay tuned. Thanks, guys, for watching.